Okay, welcome back to the Smooches show. Here we have with us Jason Wright, who is sharing his male perspective on healthy relationships. And so I guess we have a few questions. We want to get some things out of you. I want to start with Shalina.
Yes. Well, it was two things he said, and everyone who knows me knows how I feel about the whole going out to dinner thing, and I just don't pay. Just don't pay. I mean, that's just something, as he said growing up, he was taught to pay. For me growing up, my stepfather always paid for stuff. So it's kind of like, well, that's how I grew up. So I just don't believe in paying. And that's just me. I don't think it makes me any less of a woman or any less independent or whatever. But I just don't do that. But going back to what you were saying about what you look for in a woman. Now, they always say men are visual. So all those things that you said, those are like skin deep things. So when you first see a woman, what do you look at, or what do you, what when you first see a woman, what physically attracts you to a woman?
The first thing I notice as far as a woman, physically, I would have to say, honestly, I notice how she's dressed. Okay. Her shoes, dress, skirt, blouse, jewelry, how it's put together, her sense of style. I notice that. Then after that, I may notice. Sure.
He's so PC. You said dress, skirt. So you don't like a woman in jeans or pants?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not running down a whole list.
But also, a woman who dresses kind of sexy, shows a little bit of cleavage, like how high is her skirt? Like, we want to know that kind of stuff.
Are you attracted to girls with booty shorts on? I mean, do you want them to wear the leggings under the booty shorts? Would you prefer that instead?
It's not preferred, but that's just my own personal preference. I look for someone who does have, like I said, a sense of style, but also she's tasteful with it. I'm not looking for a hiked up Daisy Dukes or booty shorts where you got cheeks hanging out. I'm not looking for tops where you got a V-neck down to your navel. That's a bit much. Now, for some people that works, and there are some men who will dive off a building to get to it, but that doesn't work for me.
Why do you think that is the case? Why do you think that guys will dive off a building for that?
Because they think that it's easy. You will pursue anything that you think is easy to get initially, but once you realize you got to work for it, that may change the tune and how much work and effort you put forth. Mm-hmm. Think about, even if it's a get-rich-quick scheme, people will sign up for that in a minute because they think it's going to be easy to do. Right. But when you tell somebody that you got to put in years, training, work, blood, sweat, tears to get wealthy, you're going to start to see people blow away like chaff in the wind. Right. They're just not going to hang around for that. So when a man sees a woman dressed that way, I'm not saying she's telling people I'm prostituting or I am easy, because by no means is she inviting that. But no, I'm not saying she is. I'm not. But in the man's mind, he's going to think, okay, she's advertising. So she's sending out signals. And they misread or misinterpret who she is. So they think that's an easy one. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go for it and see what happens. The law of averages, I believe, where they say if you talk to 10 women, at least one's going to say yes. So when a man is out, if he's in a club and women are dressed like that all over, he's going to jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, till he finds the one that says yes. Right. If that's what his intent is in being out. And if there's a woman comes out and that's her intent, and that's how she dresses to show this is what I'm here for, when they finally start talking to each other, you're going to get 2 yeses. That's the way it works.
So you're saying that, if anything, from a male's perspective, again, it may not be wholly yours, but that females, or I guess honestly anyone in general, you tend to market or advertise who you are, and people will look at you and come up with their own assumptions as to what you're advertising and by how you look. So again, you may think one thing of someone who has on the jeans, with a blouse and nice heels, different from the one who has on the mini skirt and the fishnet stockings and tank top that's covering nothing.
Yeah, from a male perspective, yes, that may be what happens. Not to say that it's true, because both those women can have master's degrees. There's a phrase of when in Rome, do as the Romans. So one woman may come out with the jeans and the heels and a blazer, looks very nice, very sharp. But another woman who's just as educated, just as smart, she may come out dressed the way you mentioned. But she's saying, I'm going to the club, and I just want to feel sexy. I want to look sexy. I want to be sexy, and this is what I'm going to put on. Doesn't make her any less of a person. Doesn't mean she's advertising, but that's just how she feels at the time.
And it may just be that night that she's out that a
Exactly.
good guy will not meet her because of that. They just miss each other, just two ships. But it may be the next night she's dressed it just depends on maybe how she's feeling, and I think that's where that whole everything happens for a reason comes in.
It is how she's feeling.
She was supposed to attract who she attracted that night.
And men need to realize that that's what it is. It could be how she's feeling. Not every woman dressed that way is advertising that's who she is.
Right.
It's just maybe how she's feeling at that moment.
Right.
Which is why I always encourage men that I talk to, when you approach a woman, just talk to her. Half the times when a woman when she opens her mouth, the first 3 sentences, you can get a grasp of who she is.
Exactly.
Like, for instance, when I came here this evening and I was sitting in a room and I was listening to you guys talk, first thing that hit me was 3 very intelligent women, well-spoken, clear, there's education in the room. I got that out of what I heard. Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys were dressed sexy and had on all of that stuff, I know what I'm going to see when I walk in the door. I might go, oh, wow, okay. But then when you start talking, I'm going to have a wholly different opinion.
Not Smooches, Smooches.
And that's why I say talk to women. Don't try to run game on them.
Right.
Just talk to them.
They don't, but they don't do that. You should hold a class. You would make so much. You know what? Me and you, we're going to talk afterwards. We are about to make some money because they don't know how to talk.
But let's sit with the reality. The reality is, in the beginning, when you first meet someone, I mean, I definitely agree with your concept and how you should not judge from, like judge a book by its cover. Nevertheless, we are in a society where people automatically, no matter what you are, what you're doing, they will take one look at you and come up with a whole assumption based off that one look. So again, it could be someone who is the next, who is a millionaire, but then they have on torn jeans, and look kind of a little raggedy, and then you kind of may brush them off, because of the appearance. And I hear what you're saying, but I also know what the reality is. People judge. Now, again, as you meet someone, you get to talk with them, you may find out more, but first impressions do say a lot.
They do say, I mean, first impressions say a lot, and you say it's the reality that we judge. And as much as we see, like if you're on Facebook and you look at your news feed, at least by 9 o'clock in the morning, you got 50 posts about not judging somebody. And if everybody's talking about not judging, then why are there people doing it? And
that's just human nature.
It's human nature.
It's human nature.
But the same thing is that we're not born judgmental.
No, we learn.
We learn it. Mm-hmm. And if you've learned it, you can unlearn it.
Exactly.
You just have to want to. But some people are so comfortable judging because it makes them feel like they're better than someone else. It makes them feel elevated to a degree.
And I've noticed more lately, it seems as if we have a lot of male on female judgment going on. It's a big thing. It's huge. It's the reason why Facebook isn't as important to me as it used. I used to be a Facebook fanatic, and it became where, unfortunately, the men and the women are the same. There was something on the radio this morning that men are the new women, and I'm going to have to say that a lot of you are the new woman. There's judging. There's talking about the clothes that they wear, and is that name brand or oh, do you really own those shoes? If you own those shoes, then maybe you and I can get together because you own Louboutin, so I own Louboutin. Like, it's just way too much, and we're losing the man. We're losing the man whose hands get dirty and rough, and he just has on the boots and he just gets down. And I miss that guy. So if you see him, tell him I said hello, please. Thank you.
I'll let him know.
Well, I said two comments. One is like about the whole judging. Like, I really don't understand that concept too much, but I do think that based upon experience and wisdom learned from experiences, sometimes I think we might prejudge some people, and it's for safety reasons. I'm sorry, as a woman, if I was in a relationship and I know the signs, and then I see a person after talking to them and I see some of those similar signs, then I am prejudging that person for safety reasons. You know,
I
that's
don't know
like if I'm
so
walking.
much called judgment, then it's called you're being precautious.
But some
and
people
you see
who-
something and you go. That doesn't mean that you need to comment on it. Commenting on it, then it becomes a
Oh,
judgment.
so if
I
you
feel
judge
as
and
if-
you comment, you can only.
I feel like once it comes out of your mouth, then yeah, it is you judging. Now, if you want to think it to yourself and keep it to yourself, then you're guarding yourself. I think that you're using your womanly skills and you know your intuition to say, all right, red flag, red flag, red flag, I'm going this way. It doesn't mean that you have to let this person know, well, you know what, I think he this and I think he, that's when you're judging, and that's what I don't like. That I don't participate in. If I feel that there's a certain way that I look at this man or this woman and I see it, I can judge for myself. Me being Shekinah, I can say I'm dealing with you or I'm not dealing with you. But what you won't get is judgment from me, because you probably don't mean enough for me to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right.
I want us to continue the conversation with the judging and just, you had another question, Shalina, but we need to take a break because we're being told to. So we shall come back in a moment.
Yes.